Hey everyone, this is P4L coming to you straight from TFcon Charlotte 2015, and the review I'm going to be doing today is for Voodoo Toys number 2S Animus Stealth Mode. So this is a brand new company showcasing their first MP style figure, and this is their homage to the Diaclone version of Ironhide. Alright, so I showed this off a little bit earlier as part of my exclusive preview, but we're going to actually go into a detailed review now. Alright, so starting off the packaging review, you have a nice little window box, really nice homage to the Diaclone blocks with the green and pink and gray, and even the letters down here, and you can see number 2S, S standing for stealth. And then we have the potion series, so that's kind of their theme with Voodoo, that their characters are all kind of like potions or spells or something like that. And you get the little nice Voodoo character here, Voodoo doll icon, I guess that's their mascot. On the top, you see Animus Stealth Mode, transforming from Alt to Robot Mode. On the right side, we get some renders of him in his two modes. On the left, some more action shots of Robot Mode. On the bottom, you have a little outline diagram for his alt mode. I'm not really sure what's going on here with these this writing here, but yeah. And then lastly, on the back, it's actually upside down, I think, or maybe this is an intentional kind of upside down. I'm not really sure, but it has information like warning labels and stuff like that, and it also shows the rest of the figures that are going to be sharing this mold, at least the planned one. So there is the Animus Stealth Mode that we're reviewing today, Salus, which was supposed to be their first release, which is coming out shortly, and then down the line it's going to be Animus, their Ironhide, their regular Ironhide in the red and yellow. Alright, so that's really it for packaging review. We'll just open this guy up right away. Let's stick this off to the side. And so he comes with a few different things. I already showed this kind of off earlier, but I'm going to show this off again. He comes with a packet here which includes his bio card, a little set of instructions for his hole filler. So there's holes or from the molding process that were left open, and people didn't like that, so clearly Voodoo Toys heard them loud and clear and went ahead and included this sprue of kind of hole fillers and the instructions here. So the instructions are really teeny tiny. They're almost like stamp size, and you can see the numbers of where they go, like 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not going to show this today, probably just because I don't have any tools to do that, but maybe I'll do a separate video once I get home and have the proper tools to be able to put all this in. So it's called the filler kit for the potion series. Inside here you also have his black gun. So his black gun here with tabs, MP style tabs on the back that you'll fit into his palm. Put that off to the side. His thick cardboard like stat card, and his potion type is Courage. On the back you have his stats and very MP-esque bio stuff. Alright, let's put that off to the side as well. The instructions are pretty detailed. It's only a fold out piece of paper that's folded in half twice into quarters, but there are 32 steps it looks like. And they do something interesting where, so they'll show up before and after, and it's color coded, so you have a green to show you what action you need to take, and the red shows you kind of like the after state it should be in. So pretty detailed. It has a bunch of arrows showing the before and after and where you rotate and stuff like that. It looks pretty good overall as far as instructions go, especially for third party. You have his other gun in another baggie, which is his silver one, which I think is more ratchet in nature. So again, another blaster, kind of round discus, and this one's painted silver, or I don't know if it's molded silver, or it looks like painted silver. So really nice finish there. And then we have Animus himself. It comes in a classic clamshell. Just pop that off. And here we have a quick look at Animus in alt mode. So let's do a quick 360. Let's get these out of the way. So really quick 360 of Animus, and you can see he features a nice black and silver and yellow highlights. So his windows are kind of trimmed out in silver up here in this detail, and that's very accurate to the original car, if I recall. Same thing with the front and back windshields. They're outlined in silver and really cleanly done paint. And then back here we also have the tail lights that have yellow and red and silver highlights. Bumpers are silver, and you even have a little bit of yellow on the front tail lights, front headlights. And then you have the yellow stripes here. It is missing the red stripe that I think was on the original Diaclone, but I don't know if I really miss it or not. Alright, he does roll really well. The wheels are just regular plastic. Some people had questions about this under rail thing. I guess it was supposed to be kind of like a stepping stool, I don't know, or rail that comes in kind of these types of vans. And again, to feature the holes that you see here, all these holes here I guess are part of the molding process, and you really only see them in alt mode. So yeah, these little filler pieces that you take off the sprues will go in there. But yeah, that's really it for alt mode review. I don't really have any figures that are good that are MP that I could show you at the con, unfortunately, so I can't give you a good size comparison. Yeah, unfortunately I really don't have anything just to have something to compare it to. This is how big it is compared to Fans Toys Grenadier, which just recently came out. Alright, let's go ahead and get from alt to robot transformation. Alright, so let's get Animus transformed from alt to robot. And it's a pretty complex transformation, but it's pretty well engineered. There are a couple places you're going to need to be careful. So first thing you'll do is go ahead and open up these two back panels like so. Flip in these wheels. They tab in with these tabs into these slots here. And they tab in very securely. Next, you'll untab the feet, or actually the rear of the car there, which will end up being the feet, and then you pull to extend it. At this point, you're going to separate what will be the feet, and then you rotate the heels down. So these exhaust pipes on either side, they're on a piece that rotates on a pin, comes down like so, and then the toes are on ratcheted joints that rotate around that way. And so you get ratcheted toes for articulation in robot mode, as well as some heel articulation. And then you'll actually see the inner skeleton of the legs, which have joints on the lower legs, like 2 points of articulation, so you actually can get some forward and back, and even more, I guess, detailed forward and back and positioning when you make use of both these joints together. So pretty impressive there. Next, I think what we do is rotate the legs 180 on the joint up here, again also ratcheted. Let's see what else we're supposed to do now. I think next what we do is come up and we flip open these panels on the bottom part of those, the under skirt or something like that. Rotate that down like so, and you can see that makes up the shin. And then you're going to pull out the side panels on either side there. And then you're going to pull down this entire waist section like so. And then you'll see the lower legs coming to form there. So let's just separate the legs a bit to show you how each of them work. First thing you'll do is come to the side pieces, and you're going to, let's actually flip it around this way. You'll see that the windows are on a sliding mechanism, very similar to what they had on War Dog. So you slide that up and fold this in. Same thing on the other side. You're gonna slide this down all the way and flip that in. And from here, you're gonna have to do some kind of cool ninjaing going on. So you're gonna flip, there's a whole bunch of joints going on here. So you're gonna flip this up, down, and around, and down, like so. And that's pretty complex. The instructions are pretty good about showing how to do that. But you'll know when you did it right when you get this kind of S shape here in 90 degrees. So 90 degrees here, 90 degrees here, 90 degrees here. And that will allow you to come in and tab this small tab into the side there. And then you can go ahead and tab this side up here and then down here, which form the legs. And then you fold up the back window to form the back of the leg, the calf. So again, on this side, flip this up, down, around, and down at the same time. And again, making sure you have like the, well, on this side, kind of like a backwards S, that is all perpendicular angles. Perpendicular is big word for 90-degree angles. And if you don't know what 90-degree angles are, please go back to geometry. And there we go, we have the lower legs. And again, you can make use of these ankle tilts to give them some stability down there. So that's the lower body. The upper body, what you'll first do is untab the top of the roof, or backside of the roof here. They come down like so. And then we're going to deal with these sections here. So the bumper splits in the middle and then untabs from the front downward like that. And you have to come around this ridge piece here. And then you also have to, this is the one scary part of the transformation. You just have to pull down like that. And there's not a lot of wiggle room there. It does feel like you might be stressing the plastic a bit. The plastic quality is really high on this. I would say definitely like Fans Project Bad Cube quality, but still you always get nervous when you feel like you're stressing something. So untab this, come around that ridge, and then you're going to pull down on this entire panel to release it from that tab section there. And then you'll have this kind of flip up like so. Then you're going to untab the two arms and shoulders, and they're going to rotate 90 degrees forward. Now we have this big kind of wingy backpack thing. What you do is that's on an articulating arm. That's kind of redundant, I guess. And then you're going to rotate 180 degrees, so it's flipped upside down. At this point, you may want to bring out the head all the way forward. It's not just on the ball joint, but it's actually on kind of a pin joint here that has a platform that's attached to it. So you're going to do that. And this is where it also gets kind of complex the first couple times you do it. So underneath here, you're going to have to get this kind of all folded up and tucked away. To do that, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to see the wheels align with the side of the car. You're going to actually flip this down, and then you'll see a double hinge here. You're going to actually rotate on that tight joint there and flip this up so that the wheel kind of now sits on the outside of the car mode. Same thing on the other side here. It's nice and ratchet, very tight. And then from that, you're almost done. You're going to actually make use of these double joints. And there's a kind of T tab in here that has a corresponding slot on the inside of the wheel well. You're going to use that double joint and just make sure that double joint is perfectly straight, like so. When I say straight, it should be a straight line with these two pins. And once you have that, that'll tab in, and you fold that up like so, and rotate this up. Alright, same thing on the other side. Once you have that wheel correctly placed, you're going to make use of these double joints here. Make sure they're 90 degrees to the panels and in a straight line. That will allow you to tab in that wheel. Go like so. And this flap actually flips up. And you'll see it has a little bit of a protrusion here. What you're supposed to do is have that sit between the two wheels so that you have an even gap in between them like so. So they're not supposed, the wheels are not supposed to sit flat against each other. There should be a gap here. Alright, so that was one of the complex parts. Next, we're going to look into the top here. You're going to have to make use of this joint here, and you're going to push up on that so it collapses on itself. And this is actually spring loaded. Like if you pull this out, you can see it collapses back on itself. So you're going to push up on that as much as possible and get the back compacted. And then from here, from here, you're going to fold up these panels. Fold this down like so. And then this head panel will now rest on top of that. So you rotate that on the pin joint back down, and then you'll see the head sits perfectly in line with the body. Now we just have to do the arms. So rotate at the that upper bicep swivel. Open up these panels here. Oh, these will slide back, and then once you rotate the fist down and close it up, they'll stay up in that position. So right now they just slide back and forth. Once you have that up and rotate this down, and close the panel up, then they stay up where they're supposed to. There we go. And there we have Animus stealth mode in robot mode. And he looks really good. I really like this figure. Let's do a quick 360. And you can see he's cleanly transformed. He has a small backpack, but it's really tight and compact, so I wouldn't even really consider that much of a backpack at all, honestly. There's no hollowness in the legs because they're all transformed and nicely shaped for the most part. You can kind of see in here, but it's pretty well hidden. Yeah, and he looks really good. So let's go through some articulation. His head is on a ball joint, as well as on that platform. I will note it's gonna be hard to see just because it's so deep inside there. They got rid of just that ball peg that was for the neck, and they actually thickened it up, and so it looks much more like a real neck than just the ball peg they had before. So it's on a ball joint. You get a lot of wobble and up and down, and if you use that platform here, that pinned platform joint, you can get a lot of extra range of motion in the head area. He does have ratcheted shoulders that go around that way, ratchets that go on this way. He has a weird kind of elbow joint up at the bicep that's also softly ratcheted. Bicep swivel. The proper elbow joint is also ratcheted. He has a wrist swivel, and his fingers or fists have a ball jointed thumb that can rotate up to the top. His pointer finger has two pin joints, one at the base and then one at the first knuckle, I guess. And then the other three fingers, the middle ring and pinky, are all one molded piece that are pinned at the base. Inside the palm has that slot, the very MP slot. And again, use tabs on the guns to just rotate that in, and that'll tab into place. And it holds it really securely. So no wobbling at all. I can hit it very hard, and you're not going to lose anything there. So very nice joints there. He actually has an ab crunch. So I found out that he can, if you transform him without tabbing in these tabs here, so you can leave that open and then you'll have an ab crunch, which is awesome. You don't really see that much. But you can also, if you want to get that hidden, you can actually get those tabs underneath this gray piece. And let me see. I forget how you're supposed to do it. Oh, there you go. So yeah, let me get the backpack in place again. So if you do that, you have a much cleaner front grille, but you lose that ab articulation. So it's up to you. Either way is acceptable. They actually specifically told me about that. He does have a nice tight friction waist swivel. His crotch pieces are nice and tight. They're just on a swivel there. He has nicely tight ratcheted hips that go out and forward. Doesn't get a lot of back. He does have a swivel at the hip. He has tightly ratcheted knees. Knee swivel, that is. A knee bend. And then coming down to the feet, we saw that he has a tilt, like this. And then he has forward and back based on those inner workings of the legs that I showed before. His heel can articulate just a bit if you needed to, and then the toes itself is individually articulated. So yeah, tons of articulation on this guy. So he's pretty posable. So I can't really think of any additional articulation that you could really want on this guy. The only thing I will say is his thigh swivel isn't much. I mean, he has a little bit, but he runs into a lot of interference in the back, in particular with his crotch here. So it would have been better if they cut out a little bit of this to give you some more rotation. But still, he has a ton of articulation here. Yeah, the only thing that I think would have been better is if this top panel kind of tabbed into place somewhere, and this neck kind of like tabbed to hold it into place maybe, because like I said, if you start moving the head, it kind of comes off unless you are very careful with it, imposing it. But otherwise, you know, a ton of articulation, and almost everything is ratcheted in a nice soft, like really solid ratchet. So I really like it. He does have a bit of a wider stance there. So if it's a common problem, but you know, you're either straight or you're kind of out a little too far. I don't think his is as bad as other characters that we've seen before, but he really looks pretty good in that pose. And I'm gonna bring this camera up a little bit and change the angle because it's making him look really bulky from that, really weirdly proportioned from that angle. So let me bring that up. So a lot of people complained about his waist being really thin. I can kind of see that because he does have a really wide chest, but I don't think it's that small. And honestly, I'd take it over the Ironhide Masterpiece, Ironhide official one, with this diaper any day of the week. Yeah, I mean, great articulated hands, great articulated arms, shoulders. Overall, he just looks really good. I'm really impressed. And again, really strong, high quality plastic. I was kind of nervous initially, and I've been playing around with some of the test shots over the last few cons, and they've gotten progressively better, but this guy is way better than even the last test shot that I messed with, which I thought was pretty final. But yeah, really strong plastic. I really think it's very similar to Fans Project or Bad Cube. I think those are the closest comparisons I would have. One quick feature that you have is if you open this up, it's kind of hard to see. If you open this little tab up, you can actually flip out this little slot here, like that. And that allows you to store his gun on his back. What you would do is just go ahead and take this tab like so, and it kind of slots in. Come on. I think it has to slot in at an angle maybe? I forget, but I remember I did it earlier and it has to, I think it has to be at a particular angle to get it to tab in. Oh, there we go. So it's pretty secure. It's definitely not going to fall off by itself if you have it tabbed in correctly. But yeah, you have that option if you want to do that. I don't really see the point of that, but yeah, you have that option. No other storage for the gun except the back, which I think is enough. Yeah, I think that's really it for robot mode review. I don't have a lot of figures here with me to do comparison, but let's get out Grenadier again since he's a popular figure. And I think that scales pretty well on the MP line. And then if you want to just have another idea with a deluxe figure, third-party deluxe, here he is with the Mastermind Creations Syndicus and Asterix mode. Alright, let's get those out of the way. One thing I did want to show off, because they let me borrow it, these are the test shots from a while ago. It's not even their most recent test shot, but I want to show them off just to give you an idea of how these guys look in the different decos, the 3 decos. This again is the older version of the test shot for Salus. And this is the newer version that they have on display. This one's not painted, but it'll give you a better idea of the actual color plastic, white plastic that you'll get. So it's not this gray one. This is a much better indicator of what the Salus that's coming out will look like. So yeah, this is the latest test shot that I've seen, but this version, this final version of Animus stealth mode is much better, has a lot more tight tolerances. But these guys all look really good together. I'm really excited about getting Salus, and they told me he's going into production pretty soon, or if he isn't already. So he was supposed to come out, I think, in September, but I know they're working on getting him out as soon as possible. So yeah, I think that's really it for robot mode review. Let's go ahead and try to get back into alt mode. And again, I apologize if I messed this up, but it's a pretty complex transformation as you saw before. And there's a lot of tabs. I think maybe even maybe too many tabs if you think that's a bad thing. But yeah, so transforming him back, just open up those panels, flip in the fists. Same thing on the other side. And then you're going to want to rotate at the bicep like so to get him ready for transformation. The backpack, you'll go ahead and lift that up, fold out these panels that we folded in before. You're going to extend on that arm for the back. We'll just go ahead and rotate that for now. I'm going to go ahead and tuck the head in. And then we'll kind of reverse all of the kind of collapsing we did on the backpack. So you're going to extend the bumper and just kind of open all this up. And that kind of all tabs into place. These side panels kind of all tab together. These wheels, you have to get them back correctly aligned. So using those double hinges, just straighten that out so it looks like that. There we go. And then fold this piece back in. We're gonna, if you already tabbed in the chest, you're gonna untab that, like so. You're gonna bring this all kind of up into the front, and you can see there's tabs here that kind of lock into the front of the roof. But before we deal with that, we're gonna fold the arms in on itself, and there's tabs on corresponding tabs and slots on the shoulders and on the fists and on the roof, the back of the roof, that keep that into one solid piece. And then we can go ahead and lock the roof in place like so. Then we can lift the arms up like this, And there's tabs on the underside of the roof that tab into the back of the forearms to hold that tightly in place. Then going back to the only real scary part is, again, you're going to have to get this small, it's hard to see, this small tab on the front, so a small triangle on the front that you can barely see even with my finger behind it. It's part of the glass. You're going to want to tuck that underneath and behind the side view mirror. It kind of sits underneath there. And once you get that through, you push the bumper over this ridge and then go up into the front here where there's a tab. Same thing on this side, again, pulling slightly back and behind the side view mirror. And then getting this over the ridge and the bumper, under the front side of the bumper, getting the two halves tabbed together, and then tabbing that both of the bumpers up into the front like so. Now we're going to deal with the lower body. I like to partially transform the lower body before I end up folding it back into the section here like this. I feel like it's a little bit easier because you have more access. So go ahead and untab the sides. So there's tabs here and here, so just untab that. And then here, we're going to kind of do the backwards of what we did before, so you kind of have to extend this. Extend this up like this and flip it up and around like that. So I know that was a little complex. So again, you're going to want to get this to lengthen out as much as possible, so it's almost like a straight line, and then wrap that all the way around like this. Then you can flip out the side window, and again, it's on that sliding joint, so you just slide it back so that this part aligns with the front there. What else is there? Oh, go ahead and flip up the wheels. They also tab into place in kind of a side tab going into the slot. So again, a lot of tabs that you're probably not even aware of, but there's tons going on here. Okay, so now we're gonna go deal with the shins. Fold those up all the way, and then fold this in. And then kind of fold the legs together until they're pretty close. Then you're going to want to rotate the lower legs around that joint. And now we're getting pretty close to the end. So at this point I tab the legs together. There's tabs here and here and here. And fold this all the way up. So once you have it in this position, you're going to put in this side panel. This side panel has tabs all along here that go into this slot here, this slot here. It goes underneath the roof. So again, there's almost like too many tabs, I think, on this figure. It kind of reminds me of Orion in that respect. But everything holds together really well because of all the tabs, but you just have to be mindful of them when you put it all together, or else it kind of takes a lot of finagling. So do that on this side as well. I think that's good. Oh, so let's deal with the feet too. So the feet, you have to rotate the toes, and then flip the heel like this. And there's no stop for the heel, you just need to rotate it so it points correctly. And then you can go ahead and tab both of the sides of the feet together. And you're going to actually collapse this on itself like this. So it kind of zigzags in itself. And there's tabs at the top that tab in like so. And then finally you're going to just tab all these tabs in on this side and along the back here. and you'll have a very satisfying set of tabbing sounds. Oops. Yep, see, I wasn't very good about tabbing this in first. So now some of the tabs are coming undone. There we go. But yeah, you get the idea. You just have to finagle it a little bit once you finally get it. Once you get it finally in place, and then this bumper sometimes untabs. There we go. There we go. Yay, we did it. That wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. One thing I did mention, there is no storage for the weapons in alt mode. I don't really care about that, but some people are pretty stickler. Yeah, there's really no storage for the weapons in alt mode, unfortunately. But yeah, I think that's really it for the review. If you have any questions or comments, please go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. If you like the video, go ahead, please give it a thumbs up. I really appreciate that. If you don't like the review, let me know, but give me a thumbs down. But also leave a comment letting me know what I did wrong that displeased you so that you gave me a thumbs down. If you want to keep up to date with all my news and reviews and TFcon exclusive reviews, go ahead and click the subscribe button floating around here, and also follow me on Facebook at P4L Reviews. But yeah, this is the very first review of Voodoo Toys Animus, I believe. Yeah, hopefully this will swing you one way or another, whether you want to pick this guy up or not. Alright, thanks a lot everyone, have a good one.